You are now entering the Rawrrzone.
What up? It's your girl Cee Flame, and I'm here with businessman, rapper, producer. What else he said you do?
I make beats.
All right, I'll play nowadays. Okay, nice, awesome. Okay, businessman, why did you choose that name?
Well, it's a long story back. I used to run a business for like 24 years. And running a business is great material for raps. Let me tell you.
Okay,
So, is that. And I did it for 24 years. And then I quit. I moved to New York.
okay.
So now let's listen to Cole. Let's do it here. Cole.
So what kind of business were you running, and where were you originally?
I'm originally from Amsterdam and I did a business in internet. So IT stuff boring, not interesting, but
That's a good field, though.
it pays the bills.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. So when was the moment that you had that, you know what, throwing all this away, starting over, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life all over again?
Well, it was a bit gradual. Like the first 16 years, I was the founder of the business and I had like 15 people working for me. And at some point, the business got taken over by a bigger entity. And in the beginning, that went well, but gradually, the relationship with the owner of the business soured. And I was thinking, yeah, am I going to spend the rest of my life fighting this asshole, or am I going to do what I really want to do? I mean, I've done this 24 years, good enough. Let's get the fuck out of here. So it was gradual, but of course, there's always some kind of breaking point. And they say, well, I quit and see what I do with my life. And then, like, I thought, well, let's go to New York with my wife. And so we filed for visa. And the week that the visa was filed, the pandemic broke out. So we had to wait for another 2 years. Of course, we didn't know that at the time, but
Right.
we thought, well, there's going to be a couple of weeks delay and then we're good. But no, it was 2 years.
Oh, wow.
So meanwhile, I started to work for an American company from Amsterdam. And I thought, well, if the pandemic is ever over, I'll just get me moved out to New York. And that's what I did.
Okay.
So now I'm here, and now I perform like 60 to 80 times a year.
Okay. That's what's up. What part of New York are you in right now?
East Harlem.
East Harlem. How you live it up there?
Oh, I love it. East Harlem is no tourists, no Airbnbs, no hotels, no French people going to gospel. It's like,
Oh my God.
it's a neighborhood for the real New Yorkers. Mostly Mexican and Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
Great Mexican restaurants, but also like it's still a bit off the beaten track and it's still a bit rough, but I like it.
Okay. Well, that's what's up.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get back to this music part. So now you went from IT to rapping.
Yeah.
What were some of your inspirations that made you really want to get into rapping?
Well, actually, that happened a long time before that. I used to have a funk band.
A funk band?
Yes.
You play instruments too?
Yeah, I play instruments.
What
I
instruments?
play everything.
Like, what are your favorite instruments?
Favorite instruments? Well, my favorite instrument is drums, but I cannot afford that in a New York studio, obviously. But I mostly work with analog synthesizers and then Fender Rhodes.
Oh.
I also do guitar, bass.
Okay, nice.
So that's what I do. And well, I used to have this funk band, and I was keyboard player there. And at some point, the bass player came with a cassette
Oh, great.
of Public Enemy. It Takes a Nation. Well, legendary cassette, of course. And he said, well, you should play music like that. And well, I heard of Public Enemy because that was years before. But I never really listened to it. I thought, whoa, what the fuck? This is really interesting music. I didn't know that. So yeah, that was the moment that it all started with Public Enemy.
Nice. All right, I like that. I never really listened to Public Enemy's catalog, but I know like the hits, you know, and it's just like the stance that they took in hip hop and politics and how it always brought it back together, like to be for a community cause. So that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
Super dope.
completely.
Oh wow. Okay. All right, businessman. So, are any artists that you're working with right now
Yes.
as a producer?
Yeah. I'm now doing a collab with Justin Love, and then he may not be very well known, but he's actually a Grammy Award-winning composer.
I know that's right. That's what's
He
up.
wrote a song for her. Do you know the
Okay,
song
yeah.
Focus?
He wrote that?
He wrote that.
Wow.
So that dude, he saw me perform in Hell's Kitchen, and he's like, "Hey, I want to collab with you." So we were making a song together.